So let's have a look at this again. See there, that's the shot.
That's the shot.
You can see that then the kind of shoulder of the bat's in. Great work from our team at Spring Productions.
Absolutely
And he'll
brilliant.
be just in. But he's nervous because you never know on these, because he would have felt that he kind of had a bit of a speed bump when he dived. But I think you were spot on, Rico. I think it is the dive that saves him in the end.
Yeah, needed a dive. It was such a good throw though from the fielder out there. I'm Judge. Yeah, fantastic work again from Spring Productions.
All right, so Raz bowling the ninth here to Zadran, who laces this straight over cover with Tumbe. He did his best effort of Shaquille O'Neal-like jump, but he couldn't quite do it, and this is blasted for 4 runs. Pretty good shot by Zadran.
Yeah, this goes like a rocket, doesn't he? I mean, he throws everything into this. I mean, that one, he nearly pops his shoulder out. It hits it so hard, but it stays hit.
Well, I got told Mahesh was resting. I don't see him resting. He's had to be a real jack in the box there. Goes back on the boundary now. And he might get some more action here, although this is more into the gap. Here's Tumbe. That will handle it. A really good throwback. And that's one thing on this ground. If you've got a good flat arm, it's very hard to pitch twos. That's probably a difference we see at this level compared to the club level.
Yeah, it's good. I do like Raz Mohammed, loving the way he goes about his game. Good smile on his face, enjoys his moment. He's enjoying being out there and he's enjoying what's happening at the moment. And why not? I think that everybody on the Team Finland side are enjoying themselves. They've played some good cricket. They've certainly got good results, back-to-back wins on day 1, and then a win earlier today, made it 3 from 3. Looking to make it 4 from 4 here. And certainly, if they can get the next 7 balls in nice and tidily, keep this score to around about 105 maybe, or even less, they'd be pretty happy. Now, this is up in the air, and it's Gallagher who gets into position. And how about this? Well, I reckon, I don't know. I want to have a look at where the feet are here. Is he inside? It looks good, but I need to look at where the feet are. I think he may have just stepped over the line.
This is one that live, I have doubt. It's right in front of us. I have doubt. I think it's going to look more incriminating on the video, because it always does.
It looks great.
It's all about where does he take off from here. Let's have a look. Where does he take off?
Where is he here? Where does he... I mean, having a look at that, I think he starts outside, because that foot...
No, this is his last step, right? So his last step, his toe is in. Does his heel touch the line?
Well, I don't know how much of that
This is a tough one, because this is what it comes down to. If there's doubt, then it goes to the fielder. And for me, even live there was doubt, because I saw what you're saying, but it's just in real time. His toes inside, that's the shot there. His toes inside, but his heel looks in the air there. So I never saw the rope move. He seemed pretty spontaneous. And I think that because there's doubt, then he'll get this. But we'll have to see. It's a real line ball call. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up calling this 6. But Gallagher, he certainly sold it.
I would have liked to see a couple of steps before that shot.
But unfortunately, it happened so quick, that's all we got, right?
But going from what we see there, I mean, based on that, I think this will probably be given out, will it? Yeah, it has been. So a great bit of work there. What a bit of teamwork. Team relay, another team relay catch. Well, you saw one late last night, and it was Boris Gorley that was involved, and that is just as exceptional. Yeah. Really, really good work, good teamwork. Yeah. Well, they're loving it again.
Maya and Claire, they are the heart and soul of this team. And it's got the Finn flags flying, and 99.9% of the way there. And unfortunately, Sweden, they're going to lose Zadran for a dozen, 90 for 7. What a piece of work by Gallagher. I mean, lucky he didn't have his high heels on there, because he certainly would have touched the rope. But yeah, I think I saw it live. So I actually saw a couple of steps before what you saw. And just like that, I couldn't say for sure he stepped on the rope. It would have been possibly grazed it, but I think that is the definition is you need to be absolutely sure that the foot's touched the rope, and I don't think it has. I think the heel's in the air. At worst, there's doubt. Well, this is a little top edge. That'll work for Sweden. This will be 4. So this is going to be Chowdhury, who starts the 10th over with a boundary 94 and climbing. Searching for the 100 plus here, the Swedes in the first innings.
Yeah, I mean, whatever It's again another fantastic bit of work, fantastic bit of cricket. Something else that is going to take social media by storm. We've seen some catches, haven't we? We've seen some plays, and that one from Gallagher is right up there as one of the top catches you see. Well, I say from Gallagher, unfortunately, he doesn't even get his name in the book.
Yeah, it's the worst thing in cricket. Should get a catch assist.
It should, shouldn't he? I mean, that has to be an assist. This one's in the air, just dropped short of the fielder. You're looking just to keep it at one. They do. Yeah, so the catch will go down to Kuma.
Yeah, I didn't even bother who caught it because it was easy. I mean, my Nana could have caught it. But I think...
So he's right below us. So we're just going to say, what a great catch that was from Kuma. One of the best catches you've seen. Yeah, Kuma took the catch.
But you know what I will
Did Gallagher have anything to do with that one?
I would like to see... He's wound him up to it. You know what I think? You know, like in run-outs, you give credit to the last two people to touch it?
Yeah.
I think you should do it on catches as well.
You got it.
I think you should do it on catches
because
as well.
that is now becoming the new form of cricket. That's the new field. Yeah. You got to give credit to somebody like Gallagher for that.
Can't ramp fail.
Well, I was saying they'd be happy to keep this score under around about 105. At the moment, it's trying to get to that.
Let me tell you, if I could rewrite the laws of cricket, which I feel like I never would, I would actually have it that Gallagher can take off from the field, and as long as he holds the ball, it doesn't matter if he lands over. So you can actually have one jump. Like baseball, sometimes they catch in the second row. It's amazing.
Hang on. What are you talking about here now? Okay, chance
first.
Well, this one is totally been missed. Well, their standards have been good up until then, but this one, I think this needs to be taken. It does go quickly, but I think he totally mistimes this one. Big opportunity.
Okay, well, this gives an opportunity for Mr. Maximo's muse of the day. If I could rewrite boundary catching rules, I would say that as long as you take off from the boundary and you catch it in the air, then you've completed the catch and it doesn't matter where you land. So then he can complete the catch. But how far can you... Look how small the boundaries these days. When I used to be a kid, you had to catch a bus to go to the boundary. It's like 140.
Come on.
But
then you wouldn't have spectacular catches like that.
That's the boring part.
No.
The catching it is the hard part. He's just lollipopping it to his teammate. Is like that's for me. That takes a bit of shine off it. For Gallagher, he just gets a big donut for that. Anyway,
how much sangria did you have during lunch? Oh, this one has been blasted. We'll talk about sangria. Well, maybe he wants a jug of sangria because this has been hit big. And he gets the applause from his team. Well, that brings up the 100. They needed that hit. I would say they need to be looking at that 105 to around about 110. Well, they get the big six, and that's exactly what the doctors ordered.
Yeah, it sure is. Or was that in the viewer comment saying that a bowler could claim an assist with a run out because the last two people that touch it. I think I mean after the ball's hit, was it? Anyway, enough of my rantings. Here we go with the last ball, 105 plus this. And they'll get something on it. It'll be one. Don't think they'll even try it. At two at this level, because it'll be run out by about 20 metres, and it will be the end of the 10th over. It's kind of a spluttering innings from Sweden in the end, wasn't it? But they do get to something decent, 106 for 7 off their 10. And so Finland, they're going to come out and chase 107. And Finland, I was calling them the chaseologists, wasn't I? Because they just seem to be good in the chase. Don't forget that game against Denmark yesterday evening. Of course, this morning they made pretty light work of a below par target that Hungary set them. Right now, I mean, for me, it's about 10 less than par, but we know that, Sweden bowl and field well. And if they can get the big hitters from Finland, they'll have better than nothing chance of defending this. Let's go to the highlights. And the Flying Finns 3-0, taking on Sweden, who are making their first appearance on day 2. And it started disastrously. It was a complete balls up. The barbecue was on. And unfortunately, it was the worst possible start for Sweden. They lost one of their openers there, but Sher Ali, once again, looked pretty decent in his knock. He set the pace for the Swedes.
Yeah, he did. He was a little bit cautious starting off. I think that run-out did affect him a little bit. It took a while to get going, but once he started playing his shots, well, we know that he loves to play outside the off. He plays a lovely shot, but look, there was some great fielding as well. But that man out there, Adnan, I think he was absolutely brilliant. He made some wonderful saves, and you can say that he's quite easily saved about, well, between 8 and 10 runs for his team. So if it comes close, well, he could be the man that we're talking about. But their catching again was good. They got the wicket off Safi pretty early and then Cher. But once again, it was the drinks that did it again. Every time he gets drinks, a wicket falls straight away. This was a big hit from Sultan when he came out there. We're looking to see something magical from him. And at this point, when the Sultan and Safi were out there, you could see that they were looking to put big runs on the board. Something had to give. Like I said, it was drinks. Straight after drinks, the wicket goes, and that's exactly what happened. And it was Amjad Shah that took the catch. And well, no surprise that Azad Juzaman was in the wickets again. Here's another good stop. Well, that man Adnan, he was like a magnet out there. Every time the ball came near him, he stopped it. Good catch there taken by Khan. And his introduction was good into the team as well. Nazim Kalim hasn't quite reached the high standards that we know he can with the bat. He made a contribution. He got a few runs on the board before he fell for unlucky 13 for him. The batters came, made starts, made contributions, but nobody was able to go big. Last Mohammed making that look easy, and it was well Gallagher getting the wicket. It was the LBW. The umpire had no doubts at all. Well, he's in the right position. He decides there was no doubt about this one. Well, this was all down to the dive. Oh, that was a perfect Bizaway landing there from the batter, making sure that he got in. And a couple of shots there towards the end there. I was quite surprised that they went for Kuma to bowl the last one. There you go. There's a little bit of team dynamics, team fielding. Well, Gallagher, he does all the hard work, but the credit goes to Kuma for the catch. But it doesn't matter. Claire and Maya, they were enjoying themselves. Well, I don't know what they're on, but whatever they're on is what the team's on, because the team is flying high. And, well, Maya and Claire, they're flying high pretty well as well, supporting their boys all the way to the end. They'll be pretty satisfied once again, I think, Finland. I think they will be the happier team. It's restricting a powerful Swedish team to 106, so 107 it will be. That's required. Have a look at that scorecard. You see that two batters, Sher Ali and also Nusratullah Sultan, did make the start, but neither one of them was able to go big. Sher Ali 23 of 17 and the Sultan 27 of 9. A contribution from Khalil there as well as from Zedran, but the 120 that would have been searching for, not quite on. Bowlers, 6 of them used, and most of them successful. Wickets for Raz Mohammed, who once again was very economical, 1 for 14 for him. I'm not sure, he's just getting better with each match. I think just bowled really well. We once again saw the spin of, well, 2 bowlers that bowled really well with this spin. I mean, it was Azaduzaman and Gallagher. Gallagher was in the wickets once more, 2 for him, 2 for 20. Azaduzaman also 2 for 20. And Pravin Kumar, a bit of a surprise bowling that last over, going for 16. And also Balalat Khan, he went for 18 off his 1 over. So the mid-match summary is evenly poised. You have to say one thing that I would say about this score, and I know that Vinny Sand is not here at the moment, so I can say this, is this for me is golden ball territory on this ground. I think 106 is the sort of score, 105, 106, where we could be talking about a golden ball. I'm just going to leave that hanging out there and maybe not make reference to it again, maybe until we get deep into the second innings of this match. But it's definitely a possibility. We haven't had one for about 71 matches, I think. It's definitely on here. Well, going to leave you with that on your screen. Sweden 106 for 7, 107 required for victory. Join me, Rico Full and Mr. Maximo, when we return en 10 minutes time. Volvemos en 10 minutos por el fin de este partido número 8. Hello cricket lovers and welcome back to the beautiful Car-tam-a-Oval, a lovely cricket ground in the host region of Malaga. And it looks absolutely stunning here in the Spanish sunshine in the Costa del Sol. We've certainly seen some fantastic cricket here today that just adds to the fantastic finale that we saw to Group A last week. This, of course, is Group B, Day 2. Plenty of action still to come in the group. Remember that teams will play together, play each other twice, and then at the end of Thursday, 4 teams, the top 4, will go into the group's finals day on Friday. One team, though, the team that sits in 5th place, will be eliminated. So the first thing the teams have to try and do is avoid finishing 5th. Oh, Finland, they're doing pretty well at the moment, aren't they? 1-3 from 3. Restricted, a strong Swedish batting line-up to 106, so 107 required from them. Rahman, opening up, played a very sensible opening role in the last match. Oh, this one really does pop up from Momand. Just seeing the pace of Momand there, but dealt with nicely by Rahman. Momand, a fiery, classy bowler. A lot of noise being made out there by Swedish fielders, including their wicket-keeper, Juti. Momand, the left armour, now gets a chance to bowl to Jonathan Skimmons, who was in top form this morning. And nice shot, plays this one through the covers, but they do have a sweeper out there. And keeps it to 1. Very good. Oh, afternoon, evening, or even morning to everyone, our global cricket family, wherever you're tuning in from around the globe. Namaste, Assalamu alaikum, Sasri Akal, I'm a one. To everyone watching via fan code in the sub-Indian continent, lovely to have you all here with us, enjoying the Euros of cricket. Uppercut, and just gets it over the infielder. Good work though on the boundary. Nicely stopped, and that's Safi. Looking forward to seeing Safi bowling. I mean, he can really turn it on. Again, I'll talk about Lemon Momand being quite fiery and lively. Well, Safi, if he gets it right, then he can be quick, fast and zippy on this pitch. Rahman. Once a single, it's just a little bit of a hit and miss, and they will get there. Very good running. And this is where the batters just have to be on the same page, and they were there, making good eye contact and deciding to go straight away. But slight hesitation, had to negotiate Momand, who ended up standing in the middle of the pitch. No boundaries as yet. It's nice and tidy. You'd expect it to be from top campaigner like Clement Momand, the left armour. In once more. This time slightly shorter, and that's all it takes. Just loses his length slightly, and that gives the opportunity for Rahman to get the shot in and send it to the boundary. So first boundary off the innings, and just like that, the score doubles, goes from 4 to 8. And the ball still left in the over. He'd be disappointed with that one. He's done pretty well so far. Back to his mark. Waits the ball to come back. Sensing they're also just a tad slow here in this over. I mean, not complete yet. They've taken a bit of time to complete it. Well, that ball has disappeared. They're still trying to find it. So I think it's gone underneath probably one of the light generators. So somebody's going to have to crawl in there to find it. Well, we carry on with this one for the time being. Maybe it'll be a lucky one for my mum. Oh, it's running nowhere, running into trouble. There'll be no run to that. It's the end of the first over. It's fairly even, Steven start. 8 off it, so just below where they need to be. But I think the key thing for Finland is that they've negotiated it, haven't lost any wickets. So there you see it, 71 matches now without a golden ball. But, as I said, the start of this innings, this score for me on this pitch and this field, 105, 106 score is there or thereabout. So let's just see how that pans out. And that tied over from Mum just keeps it interesting. Takes the rate required now to around 11. Looking forward in the house and before the start of this second over. Good time to welcome back into our dream box, Vinny Sandu, Mr. Maximo.
Great to be back. Game on here. 106. Few less than they probably wanted. The Flying Finns have been good on the chase. And here is the skipper, Shazeb Chowdhury for Sweden. He gets pumped back over his head for 6. Well, welcome to the crease, Maximo. He's a guy that has just been looking very, very good today. Jonathan Skamans, very correct cricket shot as well. Gets a try and full length. He doesn't try to keep it down. This is the power play, and Skamans putting the power in it at the moment.
He's in top form at the moment, and that shot tells you that he is. He just, doesn't hesitate. It's there, he's in the slot, he's there for his shot, and he absolutely nails it. Lovely shot. And the bowler straight away making some adjustments to the field, so 2 men straight.
That's kind of early innings length. And later on, you probably won't be bowling there. Close-ish. Couple of things here. Mainly the angle here. That's what the umpire, Shubhana Navjot Singh, was indicating. Certainly nips back, I think. Yeah, it does. And I think maybe that movement taken past the leg stump and a bit high as well, maybe.
Yeah, but one thing we're noticing though, Vinny, is that certainly that's the difference between this side, sort of the hill side, to the lake side. Lake side, the ball tends to bounce a lot more.
Yeah, well, yes and no. I mean, the Netherlands 11 spinners were certainly getting it to jump. I just think, I find it hard to believe that the same pitch that's artificial is going to be significantly different each end. I think sometimes you see what you want to see. There's quite a few balls that have taken off from this end as well.
There's some taken off, but I think in general, I think the other side definitely, I think because of the slight ridge on the pitch, it's given you a bit more. Yeah. That's been my observation.
That's what people say.
Last year as well.
Yeah.
I think if the ball is on a certain length, it does certainly pop up more from the lake end.
Yeah, and it's something that I sort of agree with because, everyone says that, and so when we see it, we kind of get a confirmation bias in it. But what I will say is this pitch is a good cricket pitch all round. I think there's something in it for everybody. One thing that I've realised since I've been in Europe is not all artificial tracks are the same.
Certainly not. Unless you're going to get lucky here. Has he got enough onto it? Well, he does get lucky. He gets extremely lucky, in fact, because not only does the catch go down, it would have been a difficult one from Zaibullah Zadran, but it hits his hands hard, and because of the momentum and the way that Zadran is running, all he does is gives the ball the extra oomph it needs to go to the boundary.
Yeah.
Ends up being 4 runs.
Salt rub wound here, because that ball's never going for 4 if it doesn't hit the hands of Zadran. But it will be 4, so these are things that matter. I actually got there pretty comfortably in the end, considering what he had to do. Frustration for Chowdhury in this second over. Oh no. What is it with, I've noticed this, some bowlers tend to slip, some don't. I actually think it's all about the footwear you choose to use. You should be wearing those rubber-studded shoes, and little dimple shoes.
Yeah, watch his back foot here. The back foot just there. You see that?
So some people land with their back foot more on the side than anything else, so if you push it past a particular point, it can be pretty nasty. I'm just glad there's no lasting damage there to the captain, Shazeb Chowdhury. We've still got 1 to spend here in the second over. Be a dot. So at the end of 2, the score, 19 without loss.
Yes, not bad. It won't be pretty satisfied, I think, Finland here. I think it's Sweden. They're hunting for a couple of early wickets. Only really just to try and really slow this pace right down. But you can see Finland there. At the moment, that rate, just they won't mind it too much. As long as it stays behind that 12 mark, I think they'd be more than happy going at this. And then they know they've still got the big hitters that can come in that can really make a difference.
I mean, what surprises me in this table is how polarised it is, considering how even I think this group is.
Yeah.
You got two teams that haven't lost, so you got two teams that haven't won. You've got kind of Sweden, the piggy in the middle at the moment. But yeah, it's interesting to see how it's going to develop, because remember that the two teams without a win, they can actually play next in match 9. And the other clash we haven't seen yet is the Netherlands and Finland. So we'll see that happen twice. But I think that it's not... Yeah. These games are toss-ups. So if, toss-ups can go one way or the other, they don't always even out in the short term, right? So
yeah.
I think Denmark, for example, they're a team that quite hard to believe they haven't got a win yet. Wow, no ball called. We heard it straight off the bat there. I think it's a no ball for foot just because of when it was called from Andrew Elliott. Let's check it out on the replay.
Zabula Zadran, his first delivery. Let's see if you can see anything here.
Yeah, I think it's going to call.
It's gone a long way. And that's all to do with the angle of the foot, you see. If he's planting that foot down straight, I think he would have caught some of the line with his heel. But because he goes at that angle.
A couple of self-inflicted blows, really, from Sweden so far. Drop catch that went for 4. Now you got a free hit coming up. Batter's got the immunity cloak on. He can't do anything with it. So, an out of jail moment there from Zabula Zadran. Certainly has been in the action so far.
Yeah, he gets a good reply in, doesn't he? Zadran and Jonathan Skaman's the way he's been batting. We expected him to make this free hit count, but he's not able to. It's good delivery.
Yeah, just because of the ball. It's a good ball. Free hit or no free hit. I actually think that if it's straight and you can only get the bottom of the batter, you should leave it and hope it deflects off the stumps.
That would be a real tactical ploy, wouldn't it?
Off cutter, and see you later, Alligator Maximal. Well, Skaman, as you mentioned, he is just in the zone today. With him in the crease, Finland are going to look in control of this cricket match.
Yeah, and that's a good sign, isn't it? You can see Skaman, so all he's doing is he knows which balls he can go after. He knows which ones are in his zone to attack and send to the boundary. If it's not there, he's not taking it on, and I think he's just backing himself to get enough deliveries to be able to get the scores on the board and get his team to what would be an amazing 4 wins out of 4.
Always looks good when he's in. Thought that last year as well with Jonathan. This time, can't get it past the bowler. Yeah, but I remember last year, I can't remember, I might have to look up his top score, but just seemed to always make a really good 10 to 20 and just not go any further. So, but he's very, very capable of making a big score and kind of...
Well, last year, I don't know his high score, but I can tell you this. His total score was 82. Now, he's easily past that already, so it tells you that it wasn't a very big high top score.
Yeah, okay, his top score, I think, was in 2021. Yeah, 21. So he played 8 matches, his top score was 21. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
It is.
He played 82 runs, top score of 21, averaging 10. He's a much better player than that.
Oh, yeah.
You can absolutely see that.
We can see that here now.
You can see it last year. Well, there's Denmark. They're without a win. It's so hungry. Those two teams will meet in the next match. We'll give you the lineups pretty shortly. Is Zadran through the line, but not going to carry to Chowdhury. Throw it in for fun. Let's take out his bowler. Just a single.
Yeah, Zadran saying there's enough people backing this up. I don't need to get my mitts in the way. So it needs his things to be bowling. So it's pretty tardy at the moment. This match is just, it's tittering along, isn't it? But something needs to happen one way or another. I think either there'll be an expensive over, which puts Finland on top, or there'll be a couple of wickets to fall quickly, and Sweden will be back on top. So which way it will go? Well, this one gets lucky. He's going to have to run pretty hard, but the throw, I think, goes to the wrong end. It's not the batter that was struggling to get in. So getting a little bit of luck. Hay poquito de suerte ahí también. A few times the ball's gone in the air, but doesn't go to the fielder. Then there was that one chance, of course, the bowler here, Zabula Zadran, had. And the ball hit his hands hard and ended up going to the boundary. He'd love to pick up a wicket here. This the last ball of the over, so he can, well, make amends.
Last ball of the power play coming up. Go straight. bisects the field. This is something I've noticed, a bit of a trend, particularly with Sweden. They're really pitching those straight fielders. They don't want you to be able to hit a boundary between them. They want you to go around them. I think smart tactics, because that is normally like to go straight. I think it's a fairly safe area. Normally it is, and right now, end of the power play, 30 for no loss. Finland just a little bit behind the run rate, but with 10 wickets in hand, you feel that the game is still in their favour.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if they can keep going at this sort of pace and keep that run rate, I mean, it's just under 11 at the moment, but they can keep it under 12. With wickets in hand, they won't mind it because we know who those guys are that can come in, that can smash the ball. Amjad Sher, Atif Rashid, and even the likes of Akuma. They're all very good, capable, hard-hitting batters that can really change the way that a match is going, especially Amjad Sher, and he's had a very good championship so far. This man, though, for Sweden, has bowled really, really well coming into the attack now.
Good player, Mr. Kawi. And he gets launched over the leg side, and this isn't coming back. Maximal! And once feeding the snakes and Scamans, continues on his merry way here on day 2. He moves into the 20s. That's just a slog sweep. Nothing too wrong with the ball from Takawi, but Scamans, seeing them so well, picked up the length early and made it disappear.
Yeah, I think it's a safe shot. He decides that that's the zone, that's where he's hitting it well, that he takes him on. And, well, that's the difference. Takawi, if he's bowling to a batter that's slow and confident, that's a good ball and he's going to struggle to play it.
It's a really good comeback ball from Takawi. He slows it down. And I think he knows his weapon against that kind of shot over the wicket is his spin, is his side spin. So actually, I think tries to put a bit more on that one. And he is trying to spin the ball out of his fingers right to left on your screen. See it there, and he gets it slightly wrong. Top edge. Fielder's under it, has plenty of time, Oman, and he takes the catch. So, I'm going to say Takawi, clever bowling from him because he just tempted Scamans into one shot too many, didn't he? So it could be a big point in the match, but I do think there's a fair bit of power left in this finished lineup. But they do lose Scamans, the acting captain, for 23. The score is 36 for 1.
Yeah, look, this is good bowling from the young spinner because his first ball gets smashed for 6 and he says, OK, I know what you're going to try and do, and then he gets one that goes outside the off stump, bowls it well, and then he says, all right, I'm going to bowl you the same one again, but this time he just holds it back a little bit more. It's not as full, so he really tempts Jonathan Scamans to play the same shot again, but he gets the top edge of it, and a very good catch there taken by Lemon Momand, and that's the first wicket. He just had that feeling that it had to go one way, something had to happen for this match to liven up, and that wicket falling there certainly limes it up, and Sweden will now be thinking, okay, we've got one wicket, and come on, we've got the dangerous man out. He batted so well, hasn't he? He's been in very good form. Earlier today, we saw him play beautifully when he made 45 not out of 23 deliveries. He made a good partnership of 53 with Zahir Rahman. It's a match-winning partnership, but they've broken that partnership here, and now we've got a chance to target some of the other batters. But as you said, there's some good batters still to come.
Takawi. New batter is Adnan Ahmed. Say thanks to everyone that did send me some messages. Just going through a few of them now on my Instagram at Mr. Maximo. I say hello to Sam Kipton, who is really enjoying the coverage. Say hello to you, Sam. Hope you're well. Also to Dave Smith, also known as Mandrake. He sent me a message. Oh, this one. And you have to take your pick here. You could have a free hit at it, or you could take the wide. I think it's probably smart with the point back on the boundary.
Yeah.
But look at the spin. He does get spin here, but the problem is the length's all wrong there. Spins past the tram line.
Yeah, just trying something different to the new batter.
Cuts away. But it's a good little period this, and Takawi, when you think he got banged early in the over from Maximo, he's come back well. He's only allowed one more run, which was that wide. Picked up the dangerous Scamans. Gotta say, this is where I probably would have taken the game on and thrown the wild thing out there. We're in the middle overs, we're out of power play. This is where I think I'd rather use a two-run later.
If he doesn't get back here.
He's all right. Always knew he was going to get back, didn't he? Anyway, it'll be the end of the 4th over. 37 for 1. Yeah, but I would have been pretty tempted to go Amjad Sher, Atif, maybe, because I get they don't really want to bat early, but to me now, the game's on the line. I think you want to send your form hitters out there. But let's see how it works out. But you see, there's a slight difference in how Adnan Ahmed approaches the start of his innings and how someone like Amjad Sher would approach the start of his innings, because he would just be going for it. But maybe they don't want to take that risk just yet. 37 for 1 after 4.
Yeah, I think also they're in a position, and they've earned the right to be in this position, Finland, with the result that they've had. And they're prepared to try a few things. And Adnan Ahmed, who was outstanding, if you remember, in the field, just getting an opportunity to go out there, maybe just get a few hits, get a bit of confidence going himself, because I think they're pretty confident that when they need to, they can change it up quite quickly. But they don't want to fall too far behind. And this is what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for this guy, Rahim Safi, to have a bowl. We know he can be electrifying. He's an energetic young man, and he certainly can add a little bit of firepower into the attack. In he comes.
Wow.
He starts with a bad one. Well, talking about firepower, now this is a misfire. It goes down the leg side. It's a Gundy ball. And just like that, that's 5 runs.
This is where you kind of light the flaming arrow and turn it on yourself, really, because this is miles away from where it needed to be. I guess it's his first ball. They're probably just trying a bit too hard with Jyoti. Could have been 10 metres long, probably still would have stopped that. I sat next to Jyoti today on our way to the ground. I was on there with the Swedish team. Always love to chat to him. He's a very enthusiastic guy, and he says that my role is just to do my job well. He's not really a recognised batter in this lineup, so he's got one job.
Yeah.
And also just keep motivating his team. He's a pretty skillful gloveman as well. Safi has gone for, wasted 5 changers, but he gets this one on line. Much better.
That's more like it, isn't it? That's where he needs to be. So he gets the dot ball in. Doesn't quite make an amends, but if he gets the line to joins a few more dots together, he would. He's allowed to have a loosen, I suppose. It's just unfortunate for him that it ends up being a fifer.
Safi can bowl both hands. I don't know if he'll rock out the left-handers in this tournament, but let's find out. Well, this has gone miles. It's gone miles high. Jyoti's going to chip over the helmet if he's not careful, but he does take the catch. All right on cue. Human Jyoti is the man. It takes a steep lap. That is not as easy as you think, because you've got a few distractions. I mean, he does have the sunglasses on. This was straight into the sun, I think, at this time of the day. And he was backpedaling, and he felt any time he could have easily tripped over that helmet that was behind him. But he does get Zia Rahman for 11. And it is Safi with the breakthrough. It's 42 for 2.
Yeah, I thought he was going to go. I thought the helmet, just there. But luckily, he just takes a couple of steps the other way. Probably because the ball moves in the air. But he does well, doesn't he? Well, he says he's got one job to do, and that is behind the stumps. I mean, he's doing it pretty well.
That had viral written all over it, didn't it? If that helmet was 1 metre or less than 1 metre away, then imagine if he tripped over and still caught it. He still would try. Anyway, Zia Rahman, unfortunately, can't get them any further. This will be Atif Rashid coming to the crease at number 4. So everyone batten down the hatches. I think we're going to see some fireworks from Finland now, who've just drifted behind in this game a touch. The rate required started at 10.7. It's gone up to 11.5 now. Just a little bit, but we're heading for a big second half and potentially a close finish. It's a matter of time until we get a golden ball this tournament.
That's quick.
Yeah. It's Archie. You see, he likes to do everything quickly, doesn't he? So this one is pretty full and straight. So Safi, not too much of him, but it's all shoulder in his action as well, so he does get some good pace up.
Yeah, that's what Bolden just now woken up Sweden a little bit, hasn't it? Donna's there in the background, snapping away. And, well, she's put the bowler off now. Safi knows that Donna's there, snapping away. He's probably thinking, okay, this would be a good time to get a wicket.
Sure would. See that? Long, hot day for these players. Still 30 degrees here on the Costa del Sol. Plenty of sunshine. Safi, it's been a good over since that first ball got away from him. Slightly slow ball, I think. Well, they think of going on the hit, but they decide to turn it around. Good pressure. I mean, Sweden, they can really ramp up the pressure here in overs 5 and 6 if they can prevent these boundaries. And that starts with the ball, of course, getting it where it's difficult for the batter to manoeuvre it away.
Holly runs off this over so far, being those 5 wides.
Yes, exactly. Goes on the hit this time. Well, hits will be close, you know. And he's in. We'll
If
have
he
a look.
gets in, it's a great bit of work, and I'm liking that from Zebran as well, who goes and picks up the ball himself afterwards. But this is a good throw, good pick up. But I think the batters, look, this just goes to demonstrate to me that if you make good eye contact and you go straight away, you will get home.
Very good throw. I mean, hits the middle stump. But, I mean, my instinct is he's in. Is my instinct right? My instinct is right this time.
Yeah.
Just in by a step. Worth checking, though. Nice bit of fielding, good cricket all round. But yeah, eye contact, and it's hesitation that kills in those run-outs.
Yeah. If you go and you back yourself to go like these two did, and you get the technique right, which is run fast, run in a straight line, reach, slide the bat in, you're going to make it.
Hit hard down the ground to the single. Takes us to the end of the first half in this chase. Finland, they are 44 for 2 off 5. So that rate's just crept over to a ball now for the first time. Started at 10.7 now. They will require 63 off the last 30, so 12.6 and over. Well, with 5 overs down, the players will stop for a short drink, which is probably fair considering that we are 30 degrees. It actually feels a lot hotter out there in the middle. I've got to say that, Rico.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's been a really exciting tournament so far. If you're not aware of how it works, there's 5 countries every week for 4 weeks, and only one of them wins the week, goes through to Championship Week. We've got England 11 in the Championship Week already. They've been joined by Spain. They'll be joined by one of these teams this week. Right now, I mean, Netherlands 11, I think they are still favourites, but, I mean, we've already seen that they can have their off moments, and we know, especially on finals day, absolutely anything can happen.
Anything can happen. I think with what we've seen already, I can't see any team going all the way through without losing a match. I can't see it.
Okay.
So just bear that in mind. So Netherlands at the moment doing well, same as Finland here, but I just don't think that the group, let's put it this way, I don't think the group winners are going to win everything.
Yeah, you think they won't have a clean sheet?
There'll be something somewhere because it's just that sort of group.
And I could probably say the flip side of that, I can't see any team going through the whole week without registering a win either. I mean, at the moment, Denmark haven't won one, and also they've got Hungary. Well, at least one of those teams will register a win in the next game, which is coming up. The 4th game of the day is Denmark versus Hungary. Here's from the toss was the Hungary won the toss, and they elected to field first, so they get to chase. I'm expecting a few changes from Hungary. That's the whispers as well. Potentially no Ravindra in their lineup, maybe opening with Zemus deploy. Maybe a change of keeper as well. So, I mean, obviously they're going to try things.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is but the one thing they've got to do is they've got to believe. I think they've got to have a bit more of a positive attitude. I think they were just a little bit down. Maybe they were still hurting from the match that they lost last night when it looks like they had it in the bag.
Here's Azam Khalil, who gets hit straight, and this could be a catch. It's going to be touch and go. No, that's going to be 6. Maximal. Well, he takes it on and wins, really. I thought off the bat this was hanging in the air, kind of slightly into the breeze at this time of the day as well. But he did get enough at 6 runs.
Well, so far, the pattern of today has been drinks and wicket. Well, that's been broken because now it's drink and a 6. That's a nice hit.
That's a really good observation, actually. We often have seen wickets falling after the drinks break. And will we see one now? Well, we won't, because this is going, gone. Maximal! Back to back. And well, Finland, the 50 came up with the previous one, and this one is really flying into the sky, and it doesn't come off the first 2 balls after drinks.
Well, this one was clean out of the middle, wasn't it? I mean, the one before maybe wasn't. This was clean, sweet, out of the middle, sweeter than a bowl of Rasmalai. That's a big shot. And Azam Khalil is under attack. First 2 balls, 2 big 6s.
Yeah, don't think he can afford to toss up a 3rd time. Doesn't. Yeah, this is probably the one. I don't think he's bowled enough this week. Because I do get those first 2 are kind of what I call challenge deliveries. They're tossed up and it's saying to the batter, look, go for it. If you get it, you'll probably get 6. And if you don't quite get it, I might get you out. But I think at this stage, you probably don't want to take that risk. And this is certainly quicker. So one thing I will say about Azam is he makes the adjustment pretty quickly here. The next 2 balls a lot better, a lot more effective.
Interesting what he'll do now. The batters do cross that single, whether he'll stay with the same or try and entice the batter to go after this one.
He's going quicker, it's working for him. I mean, I get the theory as well of if you keep luring the batter into it, they'll make a mistake, but then you kind of false equivalence fallacy. You're expecting them to miss hit one. Well, speaking of miss hits, here is one. Should be caught and it's gone. So Azam Khalil, again, he shows a lot of maturity there in making an in-game adjustment. So after going for back-to-back 6s, the rest of the over, he takes 1 for 1. And he does get a T for Rashid before he can do too much damage. Finland lose a 3rd wicket. It's 57 for 3 after 6.
Yeah, Rashid, he'd be disappointed with that. He rushes into this shot. I think when you think, this is sometimes where you've got to think maybe just a little bit smart cricket. I mean, they've got a couple of big 6s in the over. I mean, if he's happy, he could have been quite happy just as pushes along. And Zadran gets quite lucky here as well. You see it almost slips out of his hands. Let's just see that if Rashid goes. Yeah, I think he didn't have to play that shot. He's a talented batter if he stayed there a bit longer. I think he could have done enough to see this one home. He gets a partnership going there, but wanted to go for the big shot. Doesn't get it right. So Adnan Ahmed is the one who's still out there. He's 14 of 8 deliveries. Not really playing some delightful strokes at the moment, but just have a look at this. Goes up in the air. Just keep an eye on this. Watch this. Oh,
Yeah.
almost.
That's a full ice cream cone. It might be, I don't know, when the bottom falls out of your drink. It almost came out the bottom, didn't it? Up the top. But yeah, what a difference today makes for Rashid. Remember last night, he engineered that chase with 37 off 15. But in this game, just can't get going. 1 off 5, and he's gone. I haven't looked up yet, but please tell me this is a wild thing. Oh, yes, it is. He's at the non-strikers end. I'm Judge Shout, so he won't be facing just yet. It's Adnan Ahmed, who is facing up to Safi. Probably just heading down the leg side here. Just with this angle, it seems to be, yeah, even the bowler, when he gets his lungs back. No, he's kind of batting in front of the stumps. That one, I think, maybe hits just in line, but the angle's taking it past the leg stump. Good call by the umpire.
Doesn't look too happy out there, does he? Adnan, he's been there a while now. That's his 9th delivery. Some 14. All right, this is the man.
Everyone, get your Wild Thing-proof helmets on if you're around the ground, because this could go anywhere. Amjad Sher faces up for the first time. Tries to smash it. Surprise. Well, went so quickly that field. It was a full toss hit into the ground. He thought about having a pop to Adnan Ahmed, who backed up quite a long way, but I think at this stage, Sweden just being sensible.
Yeah, that's right. I was saying that Finland, while it stays at 12 or below, they'll be happy. It's now just creeping above that. So this is where somebody like Amjad Sher could certainly make a difference. He hits some out of the ground. Hits the ball so well and so hard.
I think the key to him here, and this is probably a good example, you don't want to miss your block hole length short. So that one was a little bit fuller, and he couldn't quite get under it. Especially at the pace Safi's ball. He's a bit slippery. Safi's ball great since that 5 wides, which was so wide. He almost had to change channels to see where the ball ended up. Good back at him. Top ball. Good cricket. It's just, these are the overs that matter. You feel like the way they'll do it, Finland, is a flurry of 6s. If it comes, I think they do this. If it doesn't come, I don't think they will, as this rate climbs towards 14 and over.
Yeah, I'm Judd just taking a walk up and speaking to Adnan Ahmed, giving him some advice. Adnan is in a bit of a pickle at the moment, hasn't really been able to get after anything much.
It's true. No ball called. Front foot, I think.
Well, it would have been a wide anyway, but no ball, of course, precedes that, and it means that this will be a free hit, so big moment. But can Adnan
I think it is
get
just.
anything on this?
I think it is a good call by Andrew Elliott. So a couple of those just creeping in. So free hit coming up, and this is a chance for the batter to get going. Adnan Ahmed, who came in at number 3, does have 2 6s, but that just shows you that the other 8 balls, he's only scored 2 runs. Free hit time, straight through his legs. Stop ball, make that a bye, because Jyoti can't handle it.
Yeah, to get to the other end. Look, you like making a lot of, or thinking about outside the box about rule changes, law changes, whatever it comes. Free hit. I like to see the batting side being able to pick who faces it. The 2 batters out there.
Okay, that's interesting. I don't think you get to do that.
I know you don't.
I mean, again, they can retire someone out.
That's it. Bowl a no ball. I mean, because there's a big difference getting a no ball in and having to bowl a free hit to, say, Adnan Ahmed or to under.
But I mean, the thing is, the free hit's already quite a big penalty. Really kind of rubbing it in.
Just an extra run, an extra ball?
I think so. The fact you can't get out for a ball is a huge advantage. Anyway, I've got to say that Safi has bowled really, really well there. After a terrible start, no other way to say it, but he finishes with figures of 1 for 9. So if you take out that first 5 wides, which was before he bowled lead delivery, he takes 1 for 4 off 2 overs. So 7 overs down, 61 for 3 coming up. Well, I called it. There might be a few changes. Denmark, well, they will be batting first because Hungarians have won the toss and they have decided to bowl first. But they've got Zishan and Deploy opening the batting this time. Safi's back at 3. Mazbaji gets another opportunity. He'll bat 4. Margin at 5. Prashar 6. Delda 7, and Satya Ashwath Narayana comes in for Stan Ahuja behind the stumps. Denmark, though, I mean, for me, Chirani, he's a player that they relied on yesterday, but You can see that he's got some issues. Speaking of issues, and they're going to start the 8th over with a wicket. And, well, finally, Adnan Ahmed, his innings comes to an end. He hit 2 maximos, but not a lot more. As, for the first time, Finland are potentially going to taste defeat here. But the game's still in the balance. Score now is 61 for 4.
Yeah, I mean, Adnan Ahmed, just those 2 big hits, but other than that, not a lot else. And he'll depart of what will be his 13th delivery. He goes for 14, so really he chewed up a few too many deliveries. But Zedran taking another catch. Nicely done, and a wicket there for Zabi Zahid off his first ball.
Yeah, Zabi Zahid, he's a guy that I've got a lot of time for as a cricketer. Everything he does, you can always tell, does it with maximum energy. He's executed his skills very good here in the second half of the innings for Sweden. Gets some immediate success. So Amjad Sher is left there at the crease. I still think as long as he's there, there's a chance because he could do this quickly. He does hit 6s in clubs. Been joined out there by Peter Gallagher, who hasn't really clicked with the bat as yet in this tournament. Has fielded very well, bowled very well.
Yeah. He's been certainly setting some very high standards with the bowling and the fielding. Not just he, but I think Finland in general.
Called wide. I was calling them the chaseologists. Well, if they are chaseologists, they probably should chase down this 107, but I mean, Sweden as well. They're very experienced in this form of the game. Good move from Zahid there, but just swinging too far past the tram line.
Let's see the like for like. At this point, Sweden were 76 for 4.
A ball. Similar ball, but this time sneaks it inside.
Yeah, good bowling, good swing. I mean, the batter, Gallagher will need to take a look at this, so he knows now what to expect. So he doesn't want to be backing away. He's got to be going into this. Backing away. It's just going to take him further away from the bowling of Zahid.
It's all about the movement, though. It's that late movement. I like the adjustment that he made there, Zabi Zahid. And again. Yeah, these are going late. And Gallagher, he can't trust his eyes at the moment. He's seeing what he thinks is the ball coming, but then it's going late. Just watch this one bend. There.
Yeah.
It's very good bowling. I think, yeah, the first one surprises Zabi, and it swings past the offside line. He's got the confidence to make that adjustment in line without losing the swing. So I think it's excellent bowling. Right now, this game's slipping away. We've just hit the point of no return, 18 and over.
Yeah.
45 off the last 15.
Quickly, it gets there as well.
This one was one that he doesn't try and swing. Concede a single, but that's fine. Zabi Zahid doing it again for his country. Only 2 runs off the first 4 balls this over, and he's got that wicket.
Yeah, Nusratullah Sultan goes down and says he's not getting past me. So makes a fine stop.
Hello to Terry in the comment section. Hope you're well. Watching from Estonia. I've got viewers all around the world. Says that Pete needs to get a bit more forward. I think this might be just perfect, you know. The batter won't believe this. This is even one I'm calling umpire's call. Swings. I think it's wide. Alright. But you can see how close it was in real time.
It's close, but you can see, I mean,
yeah.
That's just the late swing, and that's what's probably outfoxed the umpire.
Yeah, no, I think it wasn't wide, but we had to have a close look at it. Nix it. Bad appeal. Oh, Sher's got to hurry.
A direct hit would have had him here. This is the second time we've seen. We saw Sebastian Bratt miss one earlier from that sort of range.
There's something that happens. There's like a blind spot. They lose 3 seconds whenever they hit on the pads. It's a huge inside edge. But you're exactly right. He goes walkabout, and if that hits, he's gone. And really, he should have hit. If he wasn't very far away.
You got to hit from here.
He's only there. Oh, that was a big chance to get rid of the danger man. I think they get Amjad here, they get the game. As it is, they might anyway. 8 overs down, 63 for 4.
Yeah, just not a lot's happened in the last 3 overs. You can see that. It's 6 runs coming.
Quick hello to Prakash as well, Prakash Mishra, who's watching from Bulgaria.
Yeah,
if you can get involved in the comments section, I'm going to do it. I'm going to say it's a lurker call out. If you're lurking, if you're watching, we know that our viewing numbers are through the roof for some reason here in Group B. I just think it's because people are talking to each other and saying, hey, have you seen what's going on at the moment? And of course, no matter where you are around the world, there is a way to watch the ECC. Get in the comments and say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. Here's the left arm up Momad. Was it Gundy ball down the leg side. Now they're going to take it on. That's really good running, the non-striker. really wanted that to get through for an extra run, and that gets Amjad Sher on strike.
Yeah, Jyoti does very well with the stop, not so well with the shot at the stumps. But also the bowler, look, he just pulls up there, Mohan, so he's picked up a bit of an injury.
I think that Jyoti does the right thing there. His priority is to stop that ball going to the boundary. He doesn't get too obsessed with stopping the extra run. But it does get this man, Amjad Sher, on strike. 44 off 12 required. Wow, hit half of them for 6. And I think you've got to win if you're Finland. Still, Mohammad. Let's see if he can hold his nerve. It all happens in the 9th. So he doesn't get this, and they'll take the 1.
It's been good bowling too. You've got to say, we know that Amjad Sher, that is so powerful, especially anything that's at him or down the leg. He'll smash it big over the leg side boundary, but they've get the ball just outside the off stump to him, so he hasn't been able to get those shots in a way. It's been good bowling, but this is what I was saying before. I think Sweden, we know that they're strong and powerful in the field. Their bowling is good, and that's where they've been strong over the years. But they picked up some batting talent as well here. So I'm expecting them to really be competitive in all of their matches. And you see that in this match. I mean, all right, they haven't got big runs on the board, but just those little contributions from some of those batters help them get to that over the 100 mark.
Yeah.
And they're showing, a bit like Netherlands maybe, that they can defend it.
You know, this is really good movement from Oman as well. That swings into the pads and swings late. I don't know what Gallagher's done, but since he's been there, the ball's been swinging all over the place. But the fact they're doing it, and they're doing it with control for the most part, I think is what's making life pretty difficult for the batters here. Here's the Wild Thing on strike, needs one, and he lets it go for a dot. He wants a wide. There's no way that's a wide.
No, this one is not. This is just good bowling. It's where the thing is, this is where he doesn't want it. He doesn't want it there. He can't play the shots that he wants to from there.
See the front foot just automatically going outside leg, makes that one unreachable.
Yeah.
And he's either got to get further across, or he's going to have to work out a way to throw the bat at that delivery.
I think he's going to take a little skip across the off stump here.
He's going to try and smash this. And he's gone. And that's really good bowling from Oman, because he set him up for that. And you can see the ball goes for 4, but that's irrelevant because this has crashed into the leg stump. And Sweden, well, yesterday, they were pretty close to being flawless. Today, they are making a statement in their first game of day 2. And looks like the Finns are going to have an L for the first time here in week 2. Great bowling by Lamar Oman. It's 67 for 5. Wild Thing has to head back.
Yeah, this is quality. There's only one way to talk about this. It's just very good fast. But look at the movement on this one. You see the turn on that? That is practically unplayable. It swings right round inside him, gets through the gap, knocks the stumps over. That is really good bowling from the fast bowler there, Mohammed. Excellent stuff from the left armour.
Yeah, so Wild Thing, again, just didn't get the kind of deliveries he wanted, I think. He went searching for one there. Kind of had to, but he's not able to move the needle. He goes for 2 off 7. Well, that just shows the volatility of some of these batters. I mean, you got Atif Rashid and Amjad Sher. Last night, they were absolutely incredible in that chase against Denmark. And you saw that Amjad made 32 not out of 16. Atif Rashid made 37 off 15. So combined, they made 69 off 31. And then here, very next day, not even 24 hours later, they make 3 off 12. Both out in there. Moman's the new batter, it's Kumar. And he's launching this. This is going in the air. Chowdhury's coming in a long way, and he takes the catch. So Moman's on a hat-trick. He's still got a ball left. And right now, Finland looks like they are heading down in this chase. And the new batter, Parveen Kumar, goes down with the ship. 67 for 5.
Yeah, he goes. For a first baller. And, well, we're going to need another page pretty soon. On the Hall of Fame with the hat-tricks. Well, they're coming thick and fast here in this Dream 11 European Cricket Championships. Well, here we go. This was the wicket. Does so well. The captain makes good ground and makes his catch look easy. It's such a good catch. And Mohammed, he's a man who is on fire.
Pretty good chance for a hat-trick here because he's 40 off 7. And kind of got to go for it. Hello to some of the lurkers who've popped into the comment section. I know that Benedict is watching from Sweden. Hello, Benedict. Hope you're well. I know that Sharif Khan is watching from Bangladesh. He's calling it the second Singapore. I haven't heard it called that before, but okay. Ben Blanford watching from Queensland and Australia. Right now, here's the hat-trick ball. Oh, come on. I mean, how close was that to the offside? The man knows there was a code of varnish in that, but he'll finish with the very good figures of 2 for 11. But unfortunately for him, no hat trick. 9 overs down, 67 for 6.
Look at there. What is he thinking?